Joining. Welcome to everybody joining on LinkedIn, everybody joining here on Zoom. We're going to be sharing today a really awesome system. This is a biopsychology system that will enable you to grow your business in a super simple, super straightforward way. My name is Sarah Simmons and I'm CEO Impact Innovator. So this system I'm sharing today is for you as a founder if you have a mission with your business, your brand, whatever you do to make a positive impact. And I'm going to be sharing with your business why the time for purpose-led founders right now to scale their business is bigger than ever before. So I invite you also to send in questions wherever you're joining from, whether you're joining here on Zoom, whether you're joining on LinkedIn, whether you're joining on YouTube. My team are going to fire those questions to me, so make sure, send them here. I love to answer your questions live. Put them in the chat. And I also invite you to put your cameras on so we can really get to know each other. This is a live masterclass and it's a unique opportunity for you to really have a very simple new roadmap to scale. So let's dive in. So today I'm really excited for you because you have a greater opportunity to make a positive impact than ever before in your business. So I invite you to start thinking about how big do you want your business to grow? How big do you want your impact to grow? So wealth and impact together, because I'm going to be sharing why now is the most unique opportunity, not in the last 5 years, 10 years, but in the last 100 years, literally no lie, for you as an purpose-led founder to grow your business. It's very, very exciting. Now is the time. So what you're getting today is an exact playbook of how to look at your business through buyer's eyes and how to go from overlooked, buyers saying, yeah, that's interesting, but not quite buying from you, to being the number one in your niche. So to everybody new who's joining us, do put your cameras on. My name is Sarah Simmons. We're spending the next 50 minutes together live, where I'm sharing with you the top secrets and a simple system of how you can scale your business using buyer psychology. So this system is empowering purpose-led founders across the globe to grow their business anywhere from 200K to 2 million plus in additional sales. And it's a system that enables you to grow organically. It enables you to not have to rely on expensive services to help you grow. It's a system you can own and control yourself and then hire people to run this system for you. Okay? And it's one system that enables you to grow not just for the next 12 months, but the next 5 years ahead. So here's the deal. I'm not here to try to sell you anything on this masterclass, but there's a caveat. Some of you are going to want to take action after this masterclass, right? You're going to think, you know what, Sarah, this is a very simple system. How can I get my hands on it? And we're opening up a call at the end of this, which I'll explain more about later. On that call, I'm going to help you unlock how you can apply this system specifically to your business to scale as a category of one. Now, we're only opening up a few spots that are with me directly. So if you are going to be interested in that call, I suggest you take fast action, and I'll share more about that later. So let's get clear. Unless you are established already as the number one in your niche, the pressure to stand out to buyers has increased. And that is for a number of key reasons, right? Also, the pressure to build sustainable wealth for yourself has increased. And the time to build your legacy has decreased. Okay? Why? I'm going to answer that in a minute. I want you to think about, what are you doing about it? Right? Because there's different things you can be doing right now. Some of you might be taking matters into your own hand, trying to figure out what buyers value about you. And that is smart, but it's also risky. You might be implementing many growth systems, okay? And there are many growth systems out there. They promise big profits, but also bring bigger risks. Some of those risks are large recurring investments of cash, time, overhead, complexity, and who knows if they're even going to pay off. Now, what if there was another roadmap for you to be able to see what buyers really value about you and be able to build consistently at the end of it? What if you could have one simple system that you owned in-house so you and your team could just scale in a very simple way, not as one of many businesses, but as a category of one business? What if, instead of having to second guess, keep living in confusion, implementing more and more complicated systems, or take on more and more recurring overhead and wait years for a profit, you could have one simple system to scale now? So I'm going to share with you what a difference that makes. This system enables you to have all the benefits without the risk. I'm going to talk about the importance of category of one leadership, having one simple system, not 10, and as I shared, having a system that enables you to control your own growth and create impact and legacy in months, not years. So the real question is this really possible, right? Is this really possible to actually implement and do? So here are some of our members using this system to do just that. We've got Carol, who's having successful, continuous 200K sellout launches for her business consistently using this method. We've got Alexandra, who raised funding as soon as she implemented this in 30 days. We've got Marie and Jason, who've had a 30% sales increase using this system. We've got Jo, one of the first people to ever use this system. Her business had a 2 million increase in additional sales in 12 months. I'm going to be sharing some of their stories as we go through. So I invite you to sit back and relax and let me do the hard thinking for you, because the system I'm sharing today has taken over a decade to really, really understand, and the founders using it now are scaling in months, not years. My promise is that I'm going to give you more information and insights on what buyers actually want from you for free than most people will ever give you by the end of this masterclass. And the reason is that my mission is helping you make the impact you dream of without wasting time. And that has been my mission since 2007. So let's start with some brilliant founder truths, right? I'm amazing at what I do, but I feel invisible to buyers. I'm frustrated because there are brands and offers out there making 10x more than me, but I know mine is better. I've hired top agencies, experts, spent thousands and thousands and thousands, and I'm still not scaling. I feel depleted. I quit my job to make a difference, and now I'm working harder than ever, earning less. Now, here's the thing. As Warren Buffett famously shared, it doesn't matter how hard you row, just the boat you're in. And like you guys, I'm a mission-driven founder as well as a business growth mentor. Being a mission-driven founder is how I became a mentor because I saw what was missing from mission-driven founders. And what I saw was missing was the wrong boat. Because when you're a mission-driven founder, you are an innovator, right? And when you're an innovator, you need a different system to stand out. So by the end of this masterclass, you're going to have that exact system so you can scale your business, not thinking, what do buyers actually value about me? Understanding how to see your business through buyer psychology. You're going to want to know more why this is the greatest opportunity of all time for real for mission-driven founders to scale. And you're going to have unlocked the consistent growth method enabling mission-driven founders to add hundreds of thousands in revenue to their business and build a team to scale without them. Okay, and you're gonna have the system of how to ditch complicated funnels and know how you can be empowered and own your own growth without having to invest thousands and thousands and thousands every month in recurring fees. First, who am I that you're spending your precious time with today? So I was a buyer who was really depressed because I was using my skill, which is helping brands see what makes them a category of one and helping them scale with buyers. I was using that skill for billion-dollar companies that were missionless, purposeless, that just put profit first. And I reached a point in my career and I was like, well, I'm brilliant at what I do, but I'm not directing my skill in the right way. And I really didn't know what to do about it. So I had a chat with my dad, who's my first greatest mentor. And I said to him, what should I do? You know, I could take the safe road, stay in the corporate world and really, scale my own expertise, earning hundreds of thousands for companies I don't really appreciate their purpose, or I can take the harder road and really help innovators scale mission-led businesses using buyer psychology. My dad said there is no choice, and it's what I teach founders. Your purpose is within you, and you have to fulfill it if you want to build happiness, fulfillment, and wealth and impact. So guess what? I quit, right? But I didn't just, start helping founders using buyer psychology. I first applied it to my own mission-led brand. I became an impact innovator, innovating the world's first feel-good, sustainable jeans brand. But what I did first and why I realized that the method we're taught to scale our businesses, do it yourself or hire expensive agencies, didn't work was because of doing it myself. I did all that. I spent $150K on experts, complicated funnels, agencies, you name it. But no one was able to simplify my own mission-led brand in a way buyers understood. The breakthrough happened for me when I applied the buyer psychology system I'm sharing with you today. And I went from invisible to sold out. And that is how Impact Innovator was born. And I'll share more of that story with you later, right? Because founders then started asking me, how do you do it? So I built Impact Innovator OS, one simple system to scale, underpinned with buyer psychology that enables founders to go from, invisible or one of many or overlooked to a category of one scaling. I reverse engineered the simple formula of how I bought brands as a billion-dollar buyer for mission-led founders and then simplified it. And the first founder who used it scaled from 2 to 4 million in 1 year. Since then, more than 50 founders have used this system, all of them having amazing results in months, not years. So let's dive into secret one. So everything I'm sharing today is a secret and it's a roadmap and it's a system. Okay, so make notes. So the first secret and the first part of the roadmap to being able to build sustainable, consistent scale and be seen as number one by buyers is to build a category of one foundation. Now, you might have heard category of one positioning before. I'm talking about something deeper, okay? If you are replaceable, right, or one of many, your business is at risk. Because here's what happens in the uncertain world we live in. Buyers don't stop spending, they stop gambling. Buyers choose in uncertainty the number one in any niche. And those businesses keep growing no matter what. Category of one businesses transcend commodity and defy comparison. Today, buyers need instant clarity of why to choose you over anyone else. But why is that? Because buyers are bombarded by noise. Think about yourself, right? How many noise, messages, things commanding your attention do you receive every minute of every day? Think back like 50 years in any type or area of business. There was probably like one top business coach, one top whiskey brand, one top beauty brand, or maybe 5, right? Now there's literally hundreds or thousands. So buyers are like confused and they need clarity of why to choose you. Okay, so that's one of the key things going on right now. Buyers need clarity more than ever. Not, clarity that takes like ages to understand. They need instant clarity. The other second major thing going on right now is this mission-driven opportunity. What I mentioned earlier, why this is for real. The number one time in the whole history of the world to grow a mission-driven business is now. Because there's this massive amount of money, 84 trillion in wealth being transferred to millennials and Gen Z, 70% plus of whom value purpose before price, which means your purpose they care about. But the point is you need to simplify your business in a way that buyers understand the purpose behind your offer and what makes you a category of one. The other big thing going on right now is AI. Obviously, we all know that, and it's great. And I love AI. But what it's going to mean is more uncertainty. And it's going to mean that the job market's going to massively change. People who had certain jobs won't have them anymore. What are they going to do? Those people are going to become entrepreneurs. So that means that there's going to be more and more competition, all fighting for buyers' attention. For any of you guys new and joining this masterclass, what we're doing is diving into the 5 secrets to build sustainable scale for your businesses, whatever you do, using buyer psychology. So we're on step 1, secret 1, which is building a category of one foundation, which is the opposite of being replaceable. So you know you're replaceable when you hear this. I'll think about it. I found something cheaper. Send me an email. Can I have a discount? The worst is, I think, of all of these, it's the I'll think about it, right? When someone says I'll think about it, it just means they're not certain of why you're a category of one. You know you're irreplaceable when you hear this consistently. You're exactly what I've been looking for. My friends told me about you. I can't wait to buy from you. My boss told me I had to try you. I feel like you were made just for me. So, how do you build this category of one foundation using buyer psychology? You want to focus within your brand, business, and offer on what makes you irreplaceable, not just better. On why you are the obvious choice, not just an option. And on what transformation you deliver, not just features. And what's your authentic story, not just marketing copy. And you want to put all of that into a very simple category of one that you put everywhere, that really thinks and talks about the benefits from the buyer's point of view. So how does this work in action? Right, here's a case study of one of our amazing members, Marie and Jason. Okay, Marie and Jason have an amazing business and they make organic food. So they have a brilliant business, a delicatessen outside of New York, Shelter Island, called Marie Eiffel. And they were doing, I think, 2 million in revenue when I met them. Now, that's great, but they were stuck. How do they get to the next level of growth? They were competing with so many other organic brands. Now, they were exhausted and frustrated because their team weren't able to describe their value to buyers, right? So that means they had to be front of house all the time, doing all the selling, and they couldn't scale without working more hours. Now, they were very, skeptical when they came and met me on this masterclass. They heard me on a podcast, actually. And they were like, look, Maria's been a buyer herself, right? So she was like, what do you mean? Like, I have to see my business through buyers' eyes? Don't I already do that? The point is, it's very difficult to look at your business when you're inside it, right? That's why I always say to people, the biggest takeaway is to surround yourself with experts who can help you see this, right? Now, Marie said, I've worked with the best coaches in the world before meeting Sarah and had been a buyer, but no one had been able to help her see a business through buyer's eyes as a category of one. So what is important to do, right? I'm going to share more in this in a minute. Marie had been saying organic food. That isn't unique. That isn't a category of one. What we did and what I do with every founder, I don't want to change anyone. I only help every founder optimize, trim the fat of what they're doing and find the thread within them that buyers actually care about. So we do that first on a strategy call. We unlock where is your opportunity to build this category of one. So when I first met Marie on her call, I said, Marie, your opportunity is so much deeper than organic. And through the exercises that we do, we help Marie unlock. Her category of one is real food and things the French way. Do you see the difference? Organic is generic, real food and things the French way, category of one. And what's really important is that we focused on the clear transformation it gave to her buyers. Real food for real people. Now that transformation enabled Marie and Jason to grow their sales by 30%, which was an extra 600K, grow their profit by 30%, and also enabled them to have a system so that their team could scale without them and they could achieve their goal of being a relaxed couple rather than pulling their hair out and go for relaxing trips for 3 months of the year while their team scaled without them. So the key insight for you is that this category of one isn't about becoming better. It's about being incomparable from the buyer's point of view, what counts to a buyer. This transformation isn't about changing you. It's about optimizing you to what buyers value the most about you. And this is something fast and simple that we help everybody do. And it starts with that category of one call. We did this with Marie and Jason in 30 days while running their own business. And we do this for every founder in that time frame. So that's the first step for your sustainable scale, not category of one positioning, category of one foundation that aligns everything, your mission, your vision, your offer, the benefits of your offer through buyers' eyes so they see you as a category of one. So here's secret 2 and step 2 to building sustainable scale using buyer psychology. It's high impact offer framework, right? So how to stop chasing deals and attracting them. So here's what I discovered. Running $100 million buying budgets. The sad truth is buyers choose less than 1% of what they're shown. And that is whether your buyer is a B2B customer or a D2C customer, right? Whether it's the end customer or it's a store. Buyers choose less than 1% of what they're shown. The rest is overlooked, no matter how great your product or offer is. The truth is, buyers will choose one high impact offer over 10 average offers every time. And what do I mean by high impact offer? Again, like the category of one, what we're talking about is alignment of every part of your business to this second step, high impact offer. Alignment. So what that means in practicality is like to stop over functioning as a founder. Stop trying to convince people to choose you. Stop justifying your price. Stop competing with others. Stop chasing for attention or following up. Because here's the thing, if growth is inconsistent, the key questions to ask are, is your business too complicated or too generic? And I invite you to really, take a moment, put it in the chat here. Is your business too complicated? Too many messages? Buyers can't figure out actually your value? Or is your business too generic? You sound like everyone else in your space. Nothing makes you truly the only choice for buyers out there. So you can write it in the chat here. Complicated, generic. Which is it? The business that I was talking about when I first innovated the first mission-driven business, Feel Good Jeans, it didn't start out as Feel Good Jeans. It started out as a totally complicated innovation where I was innovating a new kind of product for a new kind of market. And the thing is, overlooked. And then, look at Marie and Jason saying organic food, generic. Also overlooked. Their team were having to explain their value. They couldn't do it. So, high impact offer as a success story using buyer psychology. Here's what I learned building a founder first brand. When we're talking about high impact offer, we're talking about how you simplify your entire business to say your business, your service, your brand delivers one specific transformation for one perfect buyer. That's the key. It's the transformation. Okay. So, if we go back to my jeans brand, the transformation was feel good jeans. They made you feel good buying them. They made you feel good wearing them. Their mission was about helping the makers feel good. And do you see what we did there with just both the category of one and the offer itself? Simplified it to something that actually the buyer cares about, as well as you, as well as everybody. This buyer psychology principle is universal and works across every industry, simplifying, streamlining, and systemizing your offer so that it focuses on one transformation for one buyer. Now, we have a great feedback from Shashir. You're saying you're not complicated, but very niche. AI product based. We get rejected a lot of time because we're still a small company. Okay, so if you were able, Shashir, to explain why your offer, right, is so important that it delivers one transformation that to your buyer that nobody else can deliver, then you would stop being rejected and start really getting bought. Okay? So the case study of using this high impact offer framework. So as I mentioned, my first brand, I spent 150K on all these experts and systems. None of it worked to get buyers to buy me until I used my own buyer psychology framework, simplified my business and offer to category of one and high impact offer, all aligned to feel good jeans, right? That enabled then us to go from overlooked to stocked in the best retailers in months, not years, win Impact Entrepreneur of the Year, build a celebrity cult following, and get 1 million organic reach for free via social selling, which is our next secret. Okay, so you want to give yourself permission for stop to stop offering more, talking more, trying more, and instead focus on what your high impact offer delivers that is one transformation for one buyer. So secret 3 and step 3 is the social selling formula. How to sell in a really simple, organic way where you don't have to rely on anything other than yourself. The truth is today about selling, whether online, offline, or both, buyers are overwhelmed with choice, as I've mentioned. There's thousands of choices competing for all of that attention. And the result is you get lost in the crowd no matter how great you are. So I realized that winners in every niche focus on building for their own brand and business a founder-led movement that really focuses on social selling. Okay, so I'm going to explain what this means. Social selling is about really building that human-to-human connection with your audience so that buyers will naturally choose you. So my second business, Bespoke Your World, when I started it, rather than using all those experts, I applied my own buyer psychology to our category of 1 and our high impact offer. And then I focused on building a founder-led movement, social selling. So rather than outsourcing content to a marketing agency or expert or social media or partnership or sales, I built a system that focused on aligning everything we offered and delivered through social selling. So social selling means really simplifying your storytelling and all your communication, again, through buyers' eyes. How is your business sharing thought leadership in a simple way that's saying the same messaging every time that buyers love and understand? How are you focusing on really connecting to your ideal clients, ideal partners, so that you build community and you build a movement? Because that is what builds strength and that is what builds sustainable scale. So we did this with my second business, Bespoke Your World. Built it all on Instagram, right? Without any ads, any expensive systems. And the success story is we went from 0 to 300K in launch revenue without a single agency. And we attracted the top 0.1% clients and partners all online, digitally, using social selling. We didn't pay for ads. We invested less than 50K, the fraction of one agency or marketing expert. And the key difference to working with marketing experts or agencies is that every dollar we invested built our own in-house system for social selling that a team, an in-house low-cost team, could scale on their own. So the result then was that founders were asking me my secret sauce. How did we attract these clients and become unmissable so fast? And I taught them this social selling formula. They went from good to great to category of 1. And you'll see here, this is a program and a system in step by steps. And every single step, the clarity you get, the system you implement builds compounding growth and clarity for buyers. So here's Carol, one of our members who I mentioned at the beginning. She had a great business brand, D2C and B2B. She'd innovated a whole new way of building responsible knitwear as a brand. And she had built a good business, but she was kind of overlooked by buyers, not seen as number 1 in her niche, and couldn't get to that next level of growth. She was lost in the crowd. She felt uncool and she didn't want to be worrying about how to show up as a founder-led movement. She knew she needed to do that because everyone's talking about it, but she didn't want to waste time on it, right? So she resisted when we started and said, I'm not good at being online. I don't want to do this. The thing is, what I care about for founders, every part of this is a system. So what we did for Carol was we helped her show up not only as a category of one with a high impact offer buyers actually valued, but with a social selling system in place so that she could attract partners organically, investors organically, and instead of being one of many, became the number one voice in her niche. Now, the amazing thing for Carol is that partners started to see her that she'd been chasing for years as the number one. And she was able to attract top influencers in her area, like the number one influencer with millions and millions and millions of reach, to stock and share her brand, which has enabled Carol to lead to consistent 200K sellout launches. Carol went from one of many, even though she was an innovator, even though buyers saw her, they understood she was doing something that was different, to being the number one. And the transformation for Carol was being able to systemize how she communicated and socially sold. So that is the next step for building sustainable scale. Okay, so Secret 4 is really all about mindset. Okay, your mindset. Now, I've got a comment from Lorenzo. So you see yourself as not generic, not complicated, just not positioned high enough despite being the top of our category. I've been too modest and fair until now and relying too much on readers and buyers, seeing it for themselves rather than being more pushy. That's a great point, Lorenzo. So the point is, like for every founder, is to go through this process to sort of really see your business through the buyer's eyes, to pull out for them the things that make you really stand out so that they don't have to do all that sort of segmenting and seeing within you, like what makes you that stand out. Yes, you putting that front and center in a category of one way. That's the key. So Secret 4 is all about your mindset. Building the right inner operating system for limitless scale. So you want to think, as I go through this, in your mindset, like what is holding you back, right? Now, and I'm going to share an example from myself on why this is so key. Because let's take a moment to unlock this. 95% of your ability to scale comes from mindset. Mindset meaning, we run on an operating system of doing the same thing year on year on year and not really seeing our blind points in our own internal development. And the truth that no one talks about is you can do all the great things that I'm sharing today, but without mindset mastery and somebody helping you see your blind sides, you'll undermine all of it. My story, I spent years trying to scale, and it took a burnout to realize that 95% of really our ability to scale comes from our subconscious mind. And when you're trying to sell, right, if you're not doing it in a systemized way, it takes a huge amount of energy. And that's what led to my burnout. Because then I went from doing my business to climbing mountains. And I realized that burnout is emotional. You only have so much energy, physical, mental, and emotional. And whatever you're doing in your life, running a business, climbing mountains, you only have that much energy. So if you're not enabling yourself to get supported and to see your blind sides, you are literally really at a deficit to be able to build your own growth. And it was after this moment on this mountain in a place called the Lake District in the UK, I realized that. Because year after year, I'd wanted to summit mountains in business and in life. And I kept trying with the wrong support, really, that then led to the wrong mindset. Because I was trying to do everything myself, right? And it was this moment that changed everything. I decided to take a new decision in business and in life to surround myself with top 1% expert guides. So here's the first time I did that when I was climbing a mountain. This is Mike. He's ex-SAS, right? And he taught me, I'd been trying to climb this mountain Basecamp Everest, mountains like it for many years. And it was Mike's system where he taught me little secrets, like all the things I'm sharing with you today, what goes behind the ability to scale, what goes behind buyers being able to understand you. Little secrets are what raises the game and what breaks through the locks. So with Mike, it was subtle things like take small steps to climb a mountain rather than big steps. That not only led me to be able to climb Basecamp Everest, I was talking to someone about this just yesterday, another hiker. I said the next mountain I climbed, which was in Patagonia in December this year, I wasn't just able to reach the top, I came first out of 15. And they were like, wow, Sarah, that must be because those others don't know about taking the secret small steps, not big ones. So this is about mindset for you and you really thinking for your future, which future wins for you. Do you want to keep going as you are, or do you want to take a new road? Okay? A new road where you unlock your real power is you. Let's dive into Secret 5, Step 5, Impact Innovator OS. So this is all about having one simple system for your business to build sustainable scale. So as I shared earlier, as an entrepreneur, I invested piece by piece, 150K, hired all the experts, raised the investment. What happened? Nothing much, because I noticed a pattern. I was doing all the right things, but growth was inconsistent. And I realized that why? Because each part of the business was fragmented. Buyers don't understand fragments. They need everything to be integrated. And this is how Impact Innovator was born. Because this secret, right? That whatever you do, whether you're innovating something complex, generic, or it is unique, but buyers don't quite understand it. Whatever that is, there's just one thing. Buyers need to understand you simply. And you need to hook them in the thing that drives them. Not what you think, but what they actually need to understand from you. Buyers need simplicity to buy, and they need alignment across your entire business. So buyers need simplicity and alignment changed everything for me, because I realized why, right? The old systems don't work, because they don't look at your business in an integrated way. A branding and copywriting expert will do their thing. Positioning and strategy, their thing. Growth, their thing. Marketing and content, their thing. Sales, website, SEO, AEO, their thing. Each brilliant in their own right, but disconnected. And that creates buyer confusion. Disconnected from the heart of your innovation and what buyers value about it. The difference is, basically, what that costs you is that it costs you time, money, energy, burnout, overwhelm, because all the different parts of your business aren't talking to each other in a way that buyers care about. The result is you're confused, you change things or tweak things, team are confused, buyers are confused, right? Because the results aren't happening. The difference that is the solution, and the solution that I built is Impact Innovator OS, one integrated buyer system that looks at your entire business together. That means that, that opportunity I was talking about earlier, these next 12 months matter more than anything because of the wealth transfer happening and the onslaught of AI bringing millions and millions and millions of new entrepreneurs. So what one in-house system does is it replaces all the fragmented experts and enables you, your team, to have clarity of how to scale with category of one growth. So this is how the system works, right? I've broken down to explain this in each phase of the system, and each phase is like the steps I've shared today. So the first phase, category of one foundation. The first thing we do on our strategy call together is start to unlock your category of one opportunity. So when I met Marie and Jason, this is where we started to go deep on what buyers really care about. And from there, we build a process which is totally custom made for every founder, how you unlock your category of one through buyers' eyes. So within 30 days, Marie and Jason had been able to optimize their business to say real food and things the French way. They were able to put that on their website, on their LinkedIn, on their Instagram, everything. And that change led to massive 30% sales and profit increase. Now, the next thing we do with founders is we look at your offer. In 60 days, we look at how to simplify and streamline your offer through buyers' eyes so that you can really be seen as the only choice, so that they say yes, they don't say, I'll think about it. So I've given you now different examples, whether you are a service, a product, or a coach. So here is Rachel. She had really complicated services. She was able to simplify them to the 4 services you see here in the middle of the page. Then she was able to go on stages while her team was scaling without her. The result was Rachel had successfully raised funding to take her business to 8 figures in 90 days. Then we have Carol, who makes products. She was able to simplify her offering so that she could attract the top partners in a really fast amount of time. That has enabled Carol, as I said, to have that consistent 200K plus sellout launches. And then we have Simone, who's a coach, that was able to simplify his coaching system to a system that he could scale on repeat to top partners around the world. Then the next thing we do is move on to social selling. So how do you sell to your ideal buyers, whoever they are, whether that's B2B, B2C? And how do you build a custom founder-led movement so you're really attracting those people to you? So here's Alexandra. She's a beauty brand. She did this in 90 days. She was able to say socially, online, what was the most pioneering features of her impact sunscreen. And this enabled her to have top partners and top investors in 90 days. Now, all of that we do in one in-house system that replaces the need for other systems, right? So it costs a fraction of doing this separately. Not only that, but this system has no recurring fees. It's one and done. And the best thing is that you have it in your business to scale forever. You have new team members, they come, they use the system. Right? So this is enabling founders to build really fast traction with buyers and scale low-cost teams in a simple way. Now, I only ever invite up to 2 new members a month to join Impact Innovator OS. And that starts by me helping you unlock, or one of my team, where is the opportunity for you to really scale as a category of one business. So you have 2 choices. You can take everything I've shared and implement it on your own, right? Actually, you have 3 choices, or you could do nothing, or you could take action. Now, you can implement this on your own. The only thing I can't guarantee for you is you being able to understand and see your business through buyer's eyes and wasting years of time on that. So the choice for you is, do you have time to waste? I laid out really that now, if you have a mission, this is the moment for you to capitalize on that mission because of that massive wealth transfer happening. So here's your opportunity. You can apply for a category of one growth assessment with our strategy team, or with me if you book that quickly. And on that call, what we do is ask you a series of questions. Through that process, we're going to help you unlock where this opportunity for you is to scale to buyers as number one in your niche. We're also going to help you really see in a customized roadmap what the next 12 months could look like for you, with a completely simple way for you to scale using buyer psychology. Okay, so now we have a few minutes left. We've got a QR code here for you to book that call. And I invite you to ask any questions that you have on anything that I've shared with you today, anything that you've got on this process, on how it works. I want to share, people often ask me, well, I have a product. Does it work for me? I'm in beauty, or I'm in food, or I'm in clothing. Does it work for me? I'm a coach, a consultant. Does it work for me? This program works for everybody if you are an innovator, no matter what you make. This is designed for innovators, people who've looked at the world and said, you know what, I really believe if I was to do this, create this, this is going to make an impact. So it works across sector. People also ask, how many hours does this take a week to do? Okay, it takes 2 to 4 hours for you to implement this process every week. People ask about pricing. Well, we have 3 different price points for this program. If you apply for that call, you'll see. And what I say about pricing, as I said earlier, right? This is, oh my goodness, this is like a fraction, I would say a tenth of the price of doing this separately. And I really mean that. There is no other system out there that puts everything together. As what we're doing in this system is we're giving you basically all the secrets of how to sell and market your business organically, simply, in a way buyers understand. And we're also giving you a custom roadmap. This isn't like a course. This isn't something you can, ask ChatGPT. This is a very specialized mastermind. This is not for you if you don't want to put in the work and actually, really invest in your own growth. This is for you if you're like, you know what, Sarah, I want to just have one system in my business that I pay for once, and it's once and done, and it's going to last me forever. And this is for you as well. If you want to be the founder who understands how all these things work, the intricacies of sales and marketing, and those secrets, like the things that make the difference. Every week I share with our founders different secrets that are the game changers for them. Now, as well, if you're thinking, shall I really, shall I just take this learning and do it myself, or shall I actually just go and have that call with Sarah and her team? Well, if you look on our Trustpilot, we have amazing reviews, 5-star reviews from people who said that this call was really the unlock for them in how they scaled their entire business. And I had one of our members yesterday, she said to me, it's been 60 days since she started this program. And she said the change in her business, she's been building her business for 10 years, innovating something really game-changing in the world. And she says that she can't believe in just 60 days the difference it's made to buyers, to partners, and the unlock she's had isn't just about her building a 7-figure, 8-figure company. The one partnership she gained this week, right, through the clarity of her being able to speak as a category of one business, she feels strongly it will propel her as a billion-dollar business. Okay, so I hope I've covered some questions we get asked here. If there are any more from you guys, please feel free. We've got Tuktak, Lorenzo, Devora, Yardan, anything else, Shishir, Lisa, anything else you want to ask. I am here.
Yeah, hi, this is Shishir. Can I ask a quick question?
Of course you can.
Have you worked? Yeah. Have you worked with overseas tech-oriented businesses? So I'll tell you about us a little briefly. I'll not take too much time of the session. If we are a company in India, we have like partial, central EU presence, one person working, part time, kind of meeting people, etc. But we are India focused on a product company, and we've got a set of product which actually selling well before outreach. We are trying to make money, etc. as well. But have you worked with technology businesses outside of in India?
Well, the lady I just mentioned yesterday, she's a technology business.
Okay.
She's in the US. I've worked with many Indian companies, not in technology, in other areas like the head of the World Fair Trade Organization. So I've worked with Indian companies and technology companies. So I think that it sounds like I can really help you also from what you said earlier. So I look forward to connecting with you.
Okay, sure. I'll ping you offline. Great. Cool.
Okay. Any other questions? No? Well, I will say thank you very much, everybody, for being here today. It's my honor and privilege to share time with you. I know how precious time is, and I hope that you've had some great insights today. I believe this. It's all about those secrets. It's all about, just unlocking. And you are all brilliant. And the difference between like success and breaking through, no matter what stage you're at, it's just about the unlocks. I talk about scaling and biopsychology being like a big, like one of those old-fashioned safes where you're just dialing in. And you can think that but why? Everything is great. It's just the dialing in from the buyer's point of view, each little thing you're doing, that's the unlock. And that's why this system gets amazing fast results for people. So thank you for listening today. And together we transform our world. And I wish you a great rest of your day. Bye.